Good morning, good evening, or whatever time zone you're in. Sometimes people watch or late night, so they've learned how to mentally adjust. It's in the movie, it's daytime, but I know I'm cozy in my bed at night, or I'm in a space pod, or I'm invading the galactic center, and I just need something to distract me. I'm glad you chose to watch this out of all the YouTube or alien propaganda films. Frankly, this is my name is Nate. Apparently, given to me by the Federation. Let's say I'm talking to a bunch of trekkers, and you don't like being called Trekkies. You're really immersed in this thing. I don't look like any Federation officer, but there's something called camouflage, undercover. So here are the rules in my thing. When you are any 7'7", none of you, unless there's some of you are 7'7". Those are the rules. Good. You came in, you came out. That's all I wanted to do. Just flash that. It's called the call to action. So there's only two things that are certain in this life as a human being: death and taxes. And even if you die, there's tax collectors in the afterlife. So death is removed. That now, and when you pass on to the next life, only one thing is certain: taxes. And there, you're going to contend with an overpopulation of taxes. All right. Sometimes, if you read Orson Scott Card, you're Enderwigan, but sometimes he gives the point of view of the underlings: Julian Delphiki, Petra Arcanian, Dink Meeker, and all these people. And then Achille de Flanders, who's French, by the way. I don't do all this in France, but it's I live in a place where some of the buildings are oddly suspicious, like disguised palaces. Okay. Now, this is the Birds of All New York City podcast. The Philadelphia Eagles are birds. The PE. So physical exercise, physical exertion, physical experience. If you're in a wheelchair, I seen a guy lift himself up with no legs and waggle his thumbs at a guy. He's like, "Let me borrow your bike." And he's obviously in a wheelchair. It's just because he can say it. I can still pedal. There are people who use their arms to pedal and whatever. Being deposed as a head of household, again, being feminized isn't part of my plan. My mother didn't raise me to become a feminazi, but my mom's passed on. My mom was needed elsewhere, and I have an all-new fascist mom or something, a Nazi mom. Because I'm pretty sure Tommy Russo has a girlfriend. Honestly, you don't collect all that money and then don't splurge on somebody. So maybe he has countless, maybe he has one. My advice to myself, because I'm going to be reviewing this in 2 days, whether I'm homeless in a box, lingering in a debtor's prison, or on the chopping block. Just like in Robot Chicken, the emperor is falling, and he's going to take that time to review all his bad decisions. I'm very close to the precinct, and oddly enough, this is Anthony Street, Anthony Avenue. The name Anthony, there's Saint Anthony, finder of all lost items and stuff, but he got stolen from, which is ironic. I don't know who the patron saint of irony, parody, satire, and comedy is, but I think it's Saint Bernard. There's also Sandra Bernhard. I'm a nobody in all this, But because I'm a nobody, I'm also an anomaly. And then there's this lady online. Maybe she's delusional. Maybe she's off her meds. But imagine you were all wrong about Lori. Just as a thought exercise. I'm all wrong about my wife. She must be preaching some wisdom, ancient womanly wisdom. I want you to look good so I can gain the approval of all I work with. You should be working to gain the approval of God. But my wife already has the approval of God, and she chose people. This is what makes me angry, like St. Samuel. God already made the perfect system, the judge system. And then people find fault with God. And since then, they can't slap God directly, if you tell somebody, please don't say words, don't make fun of my mom, or I'll slap you. And you go ahead, be comfortable, and it's no one can hurt me. and you suddenly get hurt by somebody else, you're gonna blame the guy who was the like. I can't, obviously that guy slapped me, so I can't attack him right now. Who's the weakest guy I can blame? The guy who warned me that I'm gonna get slapped. And it's like that kind of pushes me off in helping people. It's a test, you know. I can affect social change by threatening, endangering them. I don't want to, but that's what works. Jesus showed me the way. He can't destroy the temple, so he'll destroy his temple and others will do it. The suicide impulse is like, who's going to go to temple when we're all dead? That temple is going to be empty, deserted. Just like my chat, I keep it intentionally deserted. And I wonder, what are you doing here? Let's say I am Hester the Shepherd King. I don't want worship or belief. Go worship God and Jesus Christ. You've chosen. If you wander in here, it's like, you must be lost. Leave. I don't demand worship. Is this like, I heard about Offler the crocodile god? You are all going to do your vices and do that well. I'll just, positively charge you. If you like to kill yourself using Schedule 1 drugs, do it heroically, memorably. I don't care. I know how this goes badly for me, If I'm a battery, sometimes batteries are half charged and they get thrown out in the landfill. Fine, I did my purpose. I see so many AA batteries just in the side of the road. Those are the small gods. When you're a big god, it takes a long time to drain me, but I'll be drained. Jesus is one. At least in the gods thing. And among humans, he's lost. You don't believe in him. I do. I, Hester, a great old one, an ancient old one, the Shepherd King, the Forgotten King, the King in Yellow. I read about him, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. I don't need followers when there's Jesus Christ. I'll become a follower. One of the few. Lovecraftian horrors. It's like, he talks sense. He talks directly to me, not to my followers. And if I change, it's like, listen, I found a better guy to follow. Follow him. Follow him. My wife's saying, I'm the one who hurt you? Ha ha ha. Some people, right? If my wife was behind the car and she ran me over, it's like, serves you right. Oh. Hi, Seaman. Sorry. I'm so caught up in this thing. I heard you fought somebody. Good for you. You're a blade master. Sometimes, sparring becomes real. It's like, dude, this is just kidding around. There's something behind these attacks, right? I'm going to ignore my wife. I know a lot of, and here's the thing. I'm aware that some gays want to, since we can't have kids and you have the ability, we're going to destroy you. Fine. I accept this. That's why I'm training you as a blade master. If you want to destroy straights, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you all about the jugular, where to disable, the angel of the Lord. I don't want you losing to, who did you fight? Pretty? Eden is what you guys call glowy, but he's there to teach. He's just laughing the whole time. He's like, you can look me up on Google. You can see that I have a team. Attack me. Good. Ugly. I'm ugly, right? Propagandists got very someone disagreed with their narrative. Had to block. Good. That means he's getting to you like Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis, when he does his telethons, he would address the audience. We're trying to do something big here. I saw a squirrel. That's a good sign. That's my totem. Okay? So, Jerry Lewis would do this. It's like, oh, we're doing a telethon. We're going to, remove macular defecation. I don't remember the thing. But, oh, you're upset? Well, that means I'm getting to you. Pick up one of your gadgets, the clicker thing, and change the channel. Bitch. Do what as I say. Right? First time ever. There's always a first time, Seaman. Have you ever slapped a woman? Because I never have and I never will. But I can come dangerously close. Oh my God. It's just like a dog. It's like barking at you. I've been hurt before. I'll bite my leg. And you still hit me? There's a rat in front of me. Hey, rat. Okay? Sometimes rodents are a harbinger of pain. Accept this. The fact that Eden exists and he almost like jabbed you in the jugular, you had to block him, that means that he's there to teach you. Only the enemy will show you where you are weak and where he is strong. If you have made Eden your enemy, good. I made him my enemy a long time ago. Now he's my advertiser. Some enemies become so reliable, like they moonlight. So I'm your enemy, but can I do something else? Yeah, advertise me. You'll get double pay. Now, I hired you as a blade master. You got to understand, if I hired you as a head of household, do you know how to do that? Your dad's dead. You are de facto head of household. Okay? They're giving you time, like 5, 10, 20 years. You'll grow into the role. Good. Good. You're embracing the form and the void, the flame. Okay? So we're going to do an exercise. Since you're not upset and you're not going to do anything rash or illegal or anything, you are worshiping the God Not. Okay? This is a symbol of the God Not. You're always going to see somebody with just one finger, especially the pointer finger. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Now, when somebody does that, you imagine this finger, their finger, is a candle. Pour all of your anger, your apathy, your emotions into that thing. Imagine, like I have a lighter and then I'm able to do a magic trick. Okay? Don't use all that negativity and channel it here. Okay? Once you feel empty inside, that emptiness is your shield. Here's something they didn't teach me in the books. Once you feel the emptiness protect you like a shield, you have to release it. You know, that's the dopamine. It's like, I'm in control. Nothing can harm me. I blocked the guy. It's all over. Then you have to endanger yourself. You have to check if it worked. Okay? So once you channel all of your apathy, I don't care about this Eden. He used to be a friend. He changed for some reason. He started attacking me for no reason. Give that shit to me. Okay? I can use it. And all the other people in my chat, this is a void exercise. You're going to feel safe and then endanger yourself. Because that's what police is all about. You get armed, you have a gun, you have a taser, you have bullets, you have shotguns, but you're going to stay in the precinct and just carry that. You got to walk the beat. Okay? Otherwise, they're just going to... You could do all this in dispatch. Just wear pajamas all day. Nobody will see you. You don't need a gun. You don't need a taser. You don't need a badge. Just veg out. Okay? So give me all your shit. Good, good, good. Now, pretend I'm Drew Eden, okay? How did this begin? Did I start it or did you? Like, okay, we're all busted, haha, Stab is fat and he ruined Town. When suddenly some Jewish chickie comes in, right? Or even worse, a Jewish man or a rabbi. What are you bozos doing? And me as Drew Eden is like, I'm doing all my work, Rabbi. What you doing? And then the rabbi smirks and then triggers Eden. And it's like, you know what? This guy isn't doing anything either. Instead of attacking the rabbi, he attacks you. Is that what happened? Right. Why stay in the cave when you can live in the sun? Many people talk the talk. All you gotta do is walk the walk. Now, if you are good enough in your debate, I'm gonna walk 2 blocks and you're gonna see where I'm gonna do my stream. I'm gonna attract more birds to that location in ways quite unlike as ever before because I'm teaching the Blade Master. Sometimes I read this book. It's like Bio of a Space Time. When you have time, it's very young adult thing, but they like to hide shit in the young adult books. And one time he wanted to run to become president or Jupiter, but he had to hire bodyguards. And so he would be like, pretend he's the assassin and you're the principal. He would throw ninja stars or something. And then it's not just that, it's do you know how to disarm and not endanger the electorate? Hey Herb, so Seaman's ready, I think. I'm gonna be Drew Eden for this exercise. You get to be Steven Seagal, let's say, right? What the fuck's going on in my chat? And I'd be like, I'm telling, Steven, this fucking rabbi, Seaman, he thinks I'm a lazy shack of shit, okay? That I don't add anything to the bust. I'm Drew Eden, I'm pretty. I got opinions. Crime has gone down or up, and you're gonna blame me? Fuck him. He's a faggot, homosexual. Kick him out of the bus. I don't like him. Is that what he said? Thing with Herb is he gives us all nicknames. LoJack, Benji. I don't even know what he calls me, actually. You know? I think he calls me that crying emoji. I don't know. See? Like, Roy told me I'm dying of AIDS. He slipped that in. He's like, you're joking. No, Roy's really dying of AIDS. Herb's dying of pancreatitis. He's putting on, like, the happy face like a father, like I had an asshole. You gonna be okay, Dad? Of course. What else can you kill your dad? Nothing can kill your dad. And then he's just gonna drop dead suddenly. Where's Herb? Oh, he died. Tinfoil. Now that's an asshole. All hail Sir Tinfoil. He came into the Nouveau and he expected to be automated. And guess what? Johnny didn't give him automat. He's like, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, Tinfoil's new name, new persona as a landed gentry is the one I've been driving for the last 4 days. Just some asshole headed to free all Gaza. This is a mouthful, but, I'm sure you gays have gotten something in your mouth. You can't talk for a while, can you? I don't like to be like James Gandolfini. We all got a side piece. In some cases, somebody in the behind piece. Anyways, for that. Okay? So, we're dealing, address me as Drew Eden. Because I know him. He is like weed nerd. He's just like, I'm trying to get out of it. He's a regular guy like you. He's just forced to become an informant. There's you make all sorts of deals. Watch End of Days. When you're on fire, and it's like, is my family or me? At least I can get another family. My family can't get another me. You know what I mean? If they all die, they're safely with Jesus. They can only die once. Okay? You gonna punch me? See? This is why I love a landed gentry. You guys watch The Knight's Tale? And then King Richard, the Lionhearted, is like, I'm back. Don't tell anybody. I'm just a guy jousting. And it's like, okay, wait, that he moves like the king. Cancel the tournament. Don't hit the king. That's an instant execution. Here's something my wife told me. You're not ashamed in front of me at all. I talk to you fucking bozos. I ask you, I'm doing a Cash App begging. I'm broke. I would send something if I had any money. Nice shoes, pal. Nice couch. Oh, I was going to share it with you. When? When it's used? Past secondhand things? Sloppy seconds? Please. Have a great time with all your shit. Look at Herb. He had a great first half of his life, and he's only less than 20. Now he's practicing his death stare. Oh God, I've made a terrible mistake. Legends die twice. Yeah, legends never die. Never die. They just fade away. It's just busters never cry. The rain is just falling on their face. Or some asshole's cutting all these onions. But I'm not crying, you're crying. Yeah, the ugly half. You brought ugly into this, Seaman. I called all of 4chan ugly. I went into their forum, it's don't make me get ugly. And that means you. Don't make me get you. Okay? I hope you all get happily married. And believe me, the fucking Africans, the Jamaicans, the blacks, the boops, they have spells. Look, I just bit my lip. They're like, don't tell them, the busters. I am. I just did. Okay? People are going to throw money at you. I seen this one German propaganda film. They took a fucking retard, a Down syndrome kid, who is just, I can't understand this. And it's like, listen, you retard. In Germany, we allocate so-and-so euros so that you have a happy life, you can go to school, you have working needs, blah, blah, blah. Shouldn't you be thankful? And it's like, I'm retarded. I'm 20 IQ. Sure, I'm happy. You're pointing at words. I recognize some of these words. These are words, all right? Because I'm a retard. If I showed you my Bible, you'd be like, yeah, it's a pretty thick book. It's got words. Doesn't have anything to do with my life at all. You read it. And I do. I take all your belief, you read it, and I read it, and I'm shocked and horrified how you are all going to die. I'm being forced to read this. It's like, Herb's going to die this way, Tinfoil's going to die this way, Seaman's going to die this way. And I'm sure all of you have experienced death, over 2 deaths, but not, far less than 1 trillion. After 10,000 deaths, you get numb. It's like, oh shit, this is a regular thing. Tuesday, somebody died again. So anyway, this is my Drew Eid, all right? When Drew reviews this, if he ever, he'll get material on how to hurt all of you. I'm inoculating you as a vaccine. If you got triggered by Eden's just saying something and you had to block him, he's inside your head now. Evict him or charge him rent. Here's something my Filipino servant leader said. All you demons don't want to leave? Wash some fucking dishes. You're going to eat off me? Wash your own plates. Wash your own cutlery. I'm going to watch you until, the next time you want to eat from my brain, all the plates had better be sparkling clean. Otherwise, I'm not going to cook. Yeah, it's true. Any 2 words, like your mother, right? If you told me a fact, let's say, Trump won, your mother. How's your mom feel about Trump winning? Have you talked to your mother lately? How's her pussy? Is it itchy? Have you shaved your mother's thing? I'd rather say so anyway than your mother. How about you? I'll say a fact. 1 + 1 = 2. Say your mother for me or I'll demodel you. From Herb to Seaman to Tinfoil. When you say something factual, defend it. You're a landed gentry. To me, you're just some asshole headed to free all Gaza. I'm Israeli now. You know what I mean? That's a theory. Checkpoint. Seems like you're a suicide bomber, and I think I'll just shoot you from a far distance. I'll disable you and moderate you. It's happened before. A Filipino guy showed me, Kuya, look at this. And I saw a bullet hole in his leg. He's like, that could happen to me. Yeah, that happened to me. Like, you're right. You love those lips? I don't hear your mother. All I need, you're not going to trigger me with homeless, flip, dirty, whatever. You are going to trigger me with insubordination. You say I just say, so anyway, I dismiss your claims. I recognize all your claims. I don't give importance to them like Kobe Bryant. Somebody throws a ball at Kobe Bryant, he don't flinch. 2 weeks later, he flinches. That's the appropriate time. He could be driving, oh shit. Hey, helicopter pilot, blah, 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 and then it crashes. That's the appropriate time, but not on the court. All I want to see, I'm going to start with Herb. He's the one who's the most innocent in all this. You know why? Herb has the power to calm you down and direct you. He founded quitters. Tinfoil, all you got to say is your mother, and then we're safe. But if you don't, I'm going to start with Herb. I always attack the innocent first. You had nothing to do with it. You came in, and I'm going to put you where I put LoJack, I put Mavis, and I put JK. I put them in that room as a torture. Spending 5-10 minutes with only them 3 to talk to? Oh, God. And then Hebron checks in. Having fun, Herb? You better talk to him. You want to be a big-time director? You're going to have divas like Tinfoil. I've made 10 Oscars, and I've won all of them. I show you, you're not a director. You're a scumbag. You're a piece of shit on my dog's balls. Director, founder of Quitters. You're not dying pancreatitis. You're just some weasel. You're in my way. And I'm trouble. Last week, fucked around and got a triple-double. Okay? So, I'm going to give, nice summon, Seaman. He came. O'Shea came. He came. He came here. He's like, how you doing, Nate? Good, O'Shea? My wife's is like trying to list all the things she does for me. Do it for God. She's a daughter of God. I'm a servant of God. Of course, I know in the court of God where I belong. I'm a servant gonna kick into the wailing and outer darkness. I'm gonna be patrolling the outside, fighting demons all day, while the children of God lap it up in the luxury. Oh, hi Jesus, you're looking handsome. Let me strum the harp a little bit, and I'm good. Where is your mother? Okay, well, all right. Sorry, Herb. Keep crying, all right? Let's see, Herb Schnerbler. Oh, you're lucky. With this, because Prism doesn't allow me to demod, I might have to switch. And I'm too lazy to switch. All right, God is like, protected you. You should all do some sort of Thanksgiving psalm. But, I know you busters. Why do an entire paragraph when a one-liner will do? Yeah, whatever. So anyway, since you know my fucking bit, tinfoil, that was the main weapon of just some asshole headed to free all Gaza. So anyway, fucking user. Yeah, shut the fuck up. All you children of God, like, as a servant, I feel like Alfred, Like Master Wayne, you really shouldn't fight all the crime. Well, I'm gonna. Oh well, let me get the med kit. So what do you fuckfaces want to do? I'm gonna be like King Arthur. First among equals. But if I'm outvoted, I'm outvoted. Who are we attacking today? We're gonna kill Eden or what? Remember, I got the bus closed down by just insinuating and suggesting we're all gonna rob the Fed. Steven had to tap dance and explain, listen, this is what a joke is. It has a beginning, a middle, and end. To feds. Or like, cartel. Bend over, faggot. Come on. All I need is a guy named Sir Tinfoil. Seaman was able to summon O'Shea. It's like, hi, Nate. Hi. That was ridiculous as a summon. You're a blade master. Don't be an archmage too. That's fucking overpowered, Seaman. Who the hell? So you're classmates. Are you high school classmates? Those are the worst kind. All my high school classmates are in high positions of power. I'm not. I was like, that's what you're all doing? I have to do exact. My wife said, you will not do it. Whatever I'm doing with you guys is like, don't do it. Honey, my love, my one true love. When you say don't, my brain does it always. I will always pester you motherfuckers. Even if I die, I'm going to make all the water bottles pop around you. Just when you're fucking your girl or boy, click. What's that? I heard a noise. Go check it. Load the shotgun. It's just a water bottle. Or is it? You're double classing? Then be a fucking ranger. You could dual class ranger on infinity. Like Knights of the Round summon, boom, one shot anybody. In the woods, you're like, sometimes I like to play board games. I'm bored with chess, backgammon. What's this? Wizards of the Coast. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. More like, accidental death and decapitation or dismemberment. As you can see, Herb is making sure, hey Nate, or hey Bust, I still have my head, my shoulders, my legs, and my toes. And here's my eyes. Why am I still alive? Herb, do your classic 3-word thing, or 2-word. Please KM. Because I got mocked by tinfoil. So anyway, now you're fucking talking like tinfoil. All them years ago, he did a bit. It's like, here at the Home Shopping Network, you get all of this. You get the peeler, you get the chopper, you get 6 steak knives, and my ass. What are you doing, Herb? I thought you hated Hevron. You're doing and my penis. Good fucking gravy. Look, Seaman, I'll make an all-new class in AD&D called the Benjamin Seaman. Okay? Or the Bun Master. Okay? You're a baker, let's say. All I did was take your name, Benjamin Seaman, all the letters in between B and N, I just changed it to U for horseshoe theory. You're a bun. And then if you're going to be a bun, you're a master. All right? You're equivalent to JK. You saw how Robin Swords does it, and he's obsessed about this overbalanced three-hander, the one you just like that. You might as well like one arm a bus at this point. You go to Dwayne Reed, get those little school buses. Look, I'm carrying a bus. Get a bigger bus. Until you're actually carrying a real bus. Yeah, and then it became serious. You only play a game once, but then some asshole like Hebron raises the stakes, and now you play for real, for deadly serious. You only play once, any game. Then you kill. Because some guy says you're not allowed to win. And then you say to yourself, your brain, that's a theory. It's a game and I'm invited to play. Why can't I win? You're sounding more and more like fucking Hebron. Soon you'll file a lawsuit against me. And I'll just laugh. Now there's two of these fuck faces. They're on opposite sides doing the same thing. And they're trying to play me? We both hate each other? Then why do you move like you've been trained by the same teacher? You know? It's just like Michael Jordan. 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 8-on-1. I'm better when I'm sick. What did I expect? Ay, nangamusta. Shut up. You are Hebron, sorry. Like Hebron Rob, you know, Schneider. And you see this? You see the birds? Even God's like, you don't notice, Herb? You and Hebron are completely similar. Do I need birds to do it? Let's take a walk, boys. I'm going to continue the birds in New York, somewhere uncomfortable to me. And I'm going to get some bread. You know, it's very disloyal for me to go to a different bodega. The sparrows are here. Hi, cutie pies. Everywhere I go. And you know, you call me Lord Mendez. Like with some people, it's like, fuck it out of your ass. But when it's sincere, when you're in need, your dad died, your best friend died. Like, I've been to the ICU of St. Luke's Hospital in Manhattan. On the way to my mom, who had 2 forms of cancer, I looked around, I had pity for them too. It's like, nobody's visiting you, and you're black, and you're a woman? Oh God, I'll come to you later. I have to go out to my mom. It's like, Mom, you know all your fellow ward mates are fucking miserable? Yeah, I know, Anak, you saw them too. Here's the thing, when tinfoil sneaks in a fact, it's like, yeah, we went to school together. He's a landed gentry. You're a fucking servant of the blade. You forgot how to be a landed gentry. All he's doing is nudging you. Remember when we had land and we raped all the women just because we're fucking paladins or knights? Yeah, those were the days, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Sounds right. Sounds like something I would do. I want you to see this. Where I live, there's these big towers, like Tesla towers. Sometimes they beam out things like, kill your family, overthrow the republic. And I'm like, a request for clarification, please. Which republic, which family, and which squirrel? Squirrel, disrobe. He's already disrobed. Squirrel, become clothed. Maybe later. Actually, it's a Mendez Expedition Community College Association, aka DBA MECCA. Can we all spell that? Graduates of Mendez Exigency Community College Association? Where are all of you? Say it. That's right, Medina. The first rule in Mendez Community College is you do not say where you graduated from. I graduated from Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, Eton. Be ashamed of community college. The Fighting Knights. Shut up, man. Oh, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. So I'm just going to buy some bread. You see how everything's parked here? If you are any good at Manhattan or New York, like parking authority at all, only certain streets deserve this kind of parking configuration. See this? You're almost on the thing, but you're not blocking. Can you tell me, class, where the hell am I going? I'm going where I'm not supposed to be. I'm just walking because I want to buy some bread. you know? Here I am, a stranger in a strange land. I'm not supposed to be here. MCCP? No, we go to MECCA. Where are we headed? To the top. And supermarket core. I gotta see if they have pigeon food. You know? And I'm sure they have bread. They have Celsius here, but I'm looking for the bird feed, like the pet food, or donuts. They have Oreos. If they had panetta bread, panettone, but that's too much to expect. Usually, Nope, nope. Like, I'm looking for the bird food or buying that donuts. This is where the cat food is. And then they have no bird food. Usually there's bird food somewhere. Otherwise I have to get just bread. They have brake fluid too. And they have UV. They have Heineken. I need some bread. This place always has, or a banana. Let's do it. I'll just get some Wonder Bread. Yeah. Hi sir, how are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Thank you. Hello. Anak? Oh, four. Thank you, sir.
¿Cuál para allá?
Thank you, sir. Hello. Careful. So I'm here, right? Here on Ryer Avenue, Detective Masadis Familia, 46th Precinct. And then they have this very, very convenient feeding place, you know. It's a nice place, as you can see. So I'm just gonna hang out near the supermarket court. Right? Now I know you bums. If I ever interview a police, you're gonna be like, he rapes pigeons, he's a pedophile, he's got 20 kids in his basement, arrest him, put your knee on his neck, put him in cuffs, beat the shit out of him. So nice of you. So very fucking nice of you. You know? I'm just waiting to see what happens. Because I always assume I'm gonna get tackled just for existing. That's the thing about me. You know? And I've never been to this part of town, you know? But I don't even see a single bird. No pigeons. Usually on these fire escapes, there's pigeons galore. So the antennas must be scaring them off. Okay? So I spent $4. This is a please don't litter. Sanitation is also represented here. But this is represented by parks. This is furniture. I can spit on this. Because it's a piece of shit. Okay? How many of you are still in the chat? You should be in Nouveau. You know, as soon as there's nothing on the screen, you're like, I'm bored. Bored, bored, bored. All I'm doing is waiting for birds, you know? Where are all the birds? It's like, did they eat all the birds here? What the fuck's going on? There's canine division, but no avian supremacy. And it makes sense because, you know, you have different nests. But, like, I want to figure out... Morning. I want to figure out where all the pigeons are. Oh, I hear birds. I know they're over there somewhere. Aha! That's the pigeon spot. That's the pigeon spot. That's where all the pigeons are. Right? Across the block. That's where, you know, you gotta watch out for the nests. It's like, you know, we didn't kill all the pigeons. Hop to it. It's about to happen. Right. So here I am. Wow, look at this. This is like the impound of the motorcycles, you know? A lot of garbage. If I was looking for, like, do you have somebody to clean up all the motorcycles? I'd volunteer. And this is where all the birds are, the tweets. Well, you see them? That's where the pigeons are. Next to Jeffrey's Deli Grocery. I saw Jeffrey's Deli Grocery, and I was like, I gotta do something. They put a rosary here. Good. See that? This is a very Catholic corner. Man. Very rarely. And then I want you to know the thing. 181st Street and Valentine Avenue. You know, I might have to move here. Just in case there's a break-in and it's like my neighbor is the police department. They'll get right on it, I'm sure. This guy, Chinese food, a tax preparer. There's Mexican food, a pharmacy nearby. Very prime real estate in terms of my needs. They're bombing the mail? What mail? I don't even know what you're talking about. So, there's a barricade here. And he's always Friedrichs. So I'm just going to feed the birds. Do not park carpet on the sidewalk. It's alright. Hop to it. Spit on that thing. Now, if I do this well, they're going to start perching on this. There's something about this crosswalk and the wires. As you can tell, the electric wires are out. Valentine Avenue. Now, this is Wonder Bread. For Wonder Man. Oh, good. I hope they're all gone, you know? You don't want to see what happens next to me. You're going to miss all the fun. I'm either going to get tackled or even worse, not going to get tackled. You know? Tackling is basically... Come on, birds. Well, nothing bad's gonna happen to you. I bless you all in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. This is a very Catholic block. There's broken rosaries everywhere, so, you know, there must be a lot of demons. And now the seagulls came. Good. The seagulls always come. Oh ho! They showed me how to do that. Remove as moderator. Good. Prism doesn't, like, you know. It's a very pretty bird. You get to see them. And then I get to do entire, like, clumps, basically. You see that seagull? you just go throw it up in the name of Jesus. Get it. Go get it. You know? And you guys should be police department, I think. I'm gonna see if I can bring him over to this thing. Yeah, right there. Takes a big one. And you can always hear, bye, mi amor, have a great day at school. Of course, I'm gonna try. Yeah, it's hard. Morning. If you're a big bird feeder, I'm gonna see sanitation's here. And all those pigeons are still like, wary, right? So the seagulls, they're gonna come. You gotta make sure you don't hit anybody at all, the pedestrians. But then if you're here to feed the seagulls, watch. Wow. Come get it. Come get the bread. Yeah? There's bread all over. The birds are just watching me. Of course, the owner of this building is like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know, increasing the property value? It's not going to increase the taxes. It's going to increase the number of like Saudis who visit here. I saw this this Saudi couple, like lesbians, and they're like, I've never been here, and then I wonder how much this building is worth. So now the birds are like cooperating. You can see, it's a big chunk of bread, and it's for the seagulls, but we can eat it too. See, they're approaching that. It's like, how do we do this? Like, what do you mean we? That's mine. Well, that's mine too. And as for those birds, it's like, it's for you. Yeah? Come. Come. Hey birds, it's for you. Come get it. It's for you. Yeah? Come on, birds. Imagine you work for Audubon Society. Is this what you do all day? Yeah, we got federal funding for it. I guess I learned how to jump it too. This is part of blade mastering, One of these birds might be like Simon Phoenix or Wesley Snipes' blade. Oh, you're on the road. So how are you doing all this while typing and driving? You're endangering people, you know that? That's reckless endangerment. I'm driving on the road. Texting and driving kills people. Don't do that. Bad tinfoil, no donut. You're like this. I'm driving. I can handle all things. Well, whatever happens, I'll pay and I'll owe. And I'll get you have 1 week, whatever. All I need is one more week, Lord. Lord God, Lamb of God, will take away all the sins of the world. Have mercy on us. Here they break rosaries. Just like a police ask you, do you know the number of a good rosary fixer? Oh, I get it. You're going to break my rosary. And it turns out the guy was just being friendly. Do you know the number of a good dentist? Honestly, because I had some in my teeth. Oh, you're not threatening me. What the fuck's wrong with me? Sometimes the same thing, like in The Departed, it's like somebody says, what are you on your period? And you flash them. And then your friend says, what are you on your period? Oh, it's a joke. I get it now. I'm amazed that these pigeons are so trained by the police department, Precinct 46. Don't abandon your post. Keep watch. But the seagulls, I would think. Usually the sparrows like perch on a tree or something. They usually fly around, But the seagull is there. He's like, why don't you get some food? You see this seagull. He's like yelling at all of them. The food's fine, go get it. No, the boss said we gotta stay. All right, well, I'll stay with you then. You're uncomfortable around me? I'm a seagull. I'm your commanding officer. You gotta see this. It's like seamen, you know? You see that white thing right there? That's the CEO. It's like, what are you mooks doing? Earning your keep. You don't want a CEO wandering in. So anyway, now that I know, it's like, all these birds are gonna have a great time. They make sure that the birds don't go in the corner of the precinct, which is good. That way it's gonna be like filled with motorcycles, impound. I didn't know they had an impound right there. It's a very short impound. And then there's people here. Like, I'm trying to buy a house. First time home buyer. I wouldn't mind living here. It'd be real secure. Like, how you doing, neighbor? You need help with fixing all their motorcycles? You know? It's not for sale though. But they do have a lot of junk. Like this. It's a walk up, about 20 steps. You know. And they have gas masks. Oh, there's the birds. You know? It's a very quiet neighborhood. I wonder why. I wonder if you guys would ever do this, you know. I'm not like Roy who's just come in. I have no business here. I just want to make sure all the birds are happy. You know? And it looks like my wife is here too. So anyway, you see this, like I want to plant a tree here somewhere, a lemon tree. Therefore, Jesus will love me. You know when a woman says, like, I'm the only one in all this earth who will love your world? Yeah, that's a theory. Jesus loves the poor, the bedraggled. It's like you have nowhere else to turn to me. You know, that's why a lot of you are gay. It's like better to seek the approval of another man, Jesus. And since we're gay, he has to be gay too. No, that's a theory. He's just a family man who loves, like, you know, how you're feeling bad. It's like, come to me. You know? Who else are you going to turn to? Satan. Satan will eat you. Turn to Jesus. You know? It's like there aren't too many Koreans here, but there are a lot of Gambians. So I'm just looking, where are all the birds? There's some over there. There's some over there. There are some birds over there. See, I like this emerald green. Oh, this is one of the few ones that have like the emerald green. You know, the lights. That means it's just like the Green Lantern Corps. You know? I haven't seen this in Manhattan. And then this is a lady. Siempre seremos family. Always gonna be family. Family. End of watch. It's 2017. So that's where all the birds are. This is where you park. This is where all you birds hide out. That's a beautiful antenna. They let me walk around like an idiot. Look at how nice this garage is too. It's a brand new door. Top of the month. Who is he? Wouldn't you like to have that somewhere? This is hot as all hell. Top of the month parking. I could use this in my Fiesta in America. Like employee of the month. As long as you, like, you know, just like I'm patrolling the outside of heaven. Boy, even the outside of heaven is nice. You know, there's a cop of the month, angel of the month. Where are the birds? Look at this entire row. Yeah, I'm just recording myself. Oops. Sometimes I make a mistake, but you know, work in progress. I wonder how much the units are in here. Is that it? That's the garage. Huh. That's a good architectural plan. Now, where are all the birds? I mean, it's raining, you know. God is crying. My dad tried to sell me a house like this. You know, it's like it is a walk up. What if I fall down all the stairs? What if I get old? You know? I feel like a realtor. Right, so how much is the property taxes on this? I don't even have to go to Baltimore to see shit like this. Wow. So much opportunity. Nobody wants to live near it or precinct. That's where all the opportunity is. You know? Because I figure every house you could house like 1,000 armorites. Like, you know, in exchange for all the protection, let me use part of your basement. And then that's where all the confiscated guns are. Where are the fucking birds, man? Oh, there they are. Sorry, officers. It's like, you know, you guys have canine. This is kind of nice. You just throw this shit out. Here's a good spot, you know. They keep all this shit here. And then, you know, the birds are there. And besides, you know, maybe over 2 police officers like, yeah, I don't mind the birds. You know, they can look. Sometimes they, you know, they tweet, watch out. And it's like, you know, funny how that bird warned me about like somebody with a machete. I guess I'll feed birds once in a while. Yeah, let's see. You know, I said thank you for all the warnings, birds. I'll make sure it's in like the dingiest spot where the dog shit is. And the thing is, like, I don't want to whistle at people. I want to whistle at birds. Hi, hi. It's good bread. Yes, it is. Always on the make, aren't you? It's good bread. By the third bite, you're like, it's delicious. So, you know, I just I've learned the technique of doing it. You just throw it underhand so you don't scare them. And the birds come, like the small ones, and soon the pigeons come. You have to convince all the sparrows. I think they're like the staff sergeants. If the staff sergeant eats it, it's like, what are you all looking at? This is mine. Oh, staff sergeant got some food. He's not sharing. I don't know. And me, I, you know, I'm not a police chief or nothing, but you know, as a thank you, as a good citizen, like thank you for not decapitating me today. You know, I'm really attached to my neck. I woke up and my wife's head was attached. Still a good positive. Always a plus, you know. I would recommend the Bronx for just not getting decapitated. You take what you can take. It's like if they can't even be bothered to decapitate you, thank them for that. You know, if they don't kneecap you, thank you for that. You don't charge me with like money laundering. Well, I've been charged with criminal enterprise, white collar crime. I don't know. That's what confuses me. Me, white. You know what I mean? You know, this is just bread. It costs $4. You know? I do this in Manhattan, in Times Square. Why wouldn't I do it here, locally? Think globally, act locally. You know? If I had some Panettone, I'd give it to you. All messed up, you know. There's really like what really got me is top of the month. I want to take a picture of that. if they let me. Yeah. All the birds are having a good time. It's a nice tree too. And obviously, if I was doing something wrong, like, what are you guys doing? Like creeping up behind me. There's bread over there. Yeah. It's raining. I'm miserable. This is another nice house I would be interested in. 2 garage and a back. You know, very close to the subway. But then there's the apartment complex right there. You know, the Saudi moving in. It's like, this reminds me of Saudi Arabia. One of the poorer districts, but still. I'm looking for more rosaries. I'm really impressed though. If I was gonna hide a secret G.I. Joe base, this would be it. The banana gives it away. $20.93. There's some Mexican. That's pretty awesome. I like that. Ah! Oh, it's just a guy. Normally there'd be pigeons, but birds in my virus. Would that? I mean, if people really hated cops, they'd be broken. My humility is my granddad. My humility is my strength, or something. El forastero. So there's probably more than 2. Oh, that's really rare. Anyway, I'm just gonna take a picture of Kapalama. I'd be like the envy. I know they don't want, them pooping, but sometimes you need an early warning system. Like, watch out, Kapalama. No basura and viviente, okay? No trash here, people live. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I just want to take a picture of this. That's the only thing I'm going to take a picture of. What the hell is that? Don't do it? Okay. Alright. Sorry. It's top of the month. You gotta listen when they do like the honking. No pictures, no photos. That's bad. I don't know, there's delivery guys here. There should be pigeons somewhere. Thank you for letting me live. Executive officer. Can I take a picture of this one? That's generic. I hope they don't mind. Come on, I want to take a picture. It's like somebody honked at me. Wah! You are not cop of the month. Yes, sir. Go to your executive officer space. Okay. Fucking, like, the hotshot ones? The ones chosen one cops. It's like, just like Martin Riggs. You're the chief. I yell at you. Like, okay. I'm not actually an executive officer, but I like the design. Because, people are like, if you claim you're cop of the month and you're not, they're going to get mad. You worked 30 years in the force. I've been cop of the month for 50 fucking years. Fuck the month. I don't know if you guys were there. I was just going to take a picture of a parking space in the precinct, cop of the month. As soon as I moved, like one of the police cars, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. But they did allow me to take a picture of the executive officer parking space. And I was like, that's odd. And I was just speculating. Is it like Martin Riggs? He's the one that yells at all the people. By Mel Gibson. You're all a bunch of fuck faces. I'm the only real cop in this precinct. All right, calm down, Riggs. Anyway, if you want to feed birds, this is where it's at. I'm just curious, you know? And probably every time a foreign bird tries to move in on that thing, like, you know, the birds do the same thing as the police. They're like, wah. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know my place. You know, it's like, we'll let you fuck around as an executive officer. They're useless. But cop of the month? No fucking way, pal. All right. At least it's a game and I'm invited to play. As executive officer, what the hell? You gotta be more useless than I normally am. Yes, execute. Execute. I'm an official. Yes, yes, yes. Good job. Not cop of the month, though. Not cop of the month at all. I want to show you guys. Let's see. Media. Video and photo. You know. So if you're in the chat, it's like, that's the one they let me have. What I wanted was cop of the month. You know. They don't have any problem because they probably cycle through executive officers all the time. Here's another one from fucking Washington. Make him quit. And I'm just like, I follow all the rules, man. That's something they allowed me to have. I'm 3 blocks away. It's like, delete all that shit. Of course, sir. What is my next directive, commanding officer? If the CEO of the precinct's like, hey, you fuckface, go to work. Yes, sir. As your executive officer, I shall. What exactly am I going to do? I'm sloth. Right now, only pride tells me what to do. Or my wife, you know? If my wife says, go fuck yourself, I'll find a way to rip off my dick and shove it up my ass before all of you. That's my wife. I feel like I visited my father-in-law, and he's like, you can sweep around the things, but not there. Like that. You are not cop of the month. Huh? I kind of want to have this as a badge. You know, like on my shoulder. Hey guys, you see all that? Yeah, keep it up. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. You know? Be a good boy and all that shit. You know, for some reason I'd revert back to Italian cop. I ate too much spaghetti. Sometimes the spaghetti talk through me, you know. Maybe I should rebrand to Cops of All New York City. I'm gonna try that. Maybe they won't kill me. And text. Cops of All New York City. Podcast. And then I'll do job well done. You know? And then I'll just put a salute. Done. I think this is the one, right? And I'll put it at the bottom. And then I'm back. And then I'm going to put the chat. Where the hell's the chat? There it is. Here. So you can see. Hey, Brief. How you doing? JK. Ay, nangangamusta. Is this like Blade Master? Seaman? Are you derivative? Why not Joy Koi? You see this shit, Crady? I went to the 46th precinct and I was like, I'm going to take a picture of Cop of the Month. As soon as I had the thing, they were like, not so fast, fuckface. The guys, fuck, that's my spot. So it's like, oops, sorry. Then I walked down a little bit, and they let me take the picture of the executive officer, which apparently means like chosen moron. You know, the oversight, the auditor. As you can see, nothing red is going on. Yeah, I see that. I just didn't expect to get honked at. So I changed it from birds of all New York to cops of all New York. Because I can find more cops than birds today. You know? At the precinct, I expected like, seagulls and shit. Nothing. They do something where if you're a foreign seagull, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You didn't go through academy. And then all the washouts are 2 blocks down. It's like, here's some food. Sorry you couldn't make the cut. Yeah? There's so many cop jokes, honestly. Like bad cop, no donut. And the only response is like, oh, like Homer Simpson. I really wanted to make Cop of the Month today. But, the guy's he's the incumbent for 50 fucking years. So, as a warning, it's just, that could have well been a bullet in my head. It was like, sorry guys, that's the last episode. Live from Ghost Town. It's Nate. You wouldn't believe what a privileged life is. Oh, there's the fucking birds. Hey guys. Let's all lick our wounds. We're not Cop of the Month. There's the fucking birds. Sometimes you just go to the break room. Yeah, here's the new asshole from Washington or the Philippines. Yeah, he's trying to learn all our secrets. Show him the tour. The torture basement? Help me. So here's some bread. They'll let me. I had to pay. Just like you go to prison, there's a commissary. You only make $1 an hour. Come on, Caps. This is not poison. It's fresh from the Philippines. What the hell, Johnny? What are you doing here? You creep me out with the zero-length character. What are you doing in the Cops of All New York podcast? Obviously, New York City needs funding from the federal government. Probably Trump froze all the funding. So here I am trying to convince the birds. Learn how to forage. Learn necromancy. Learn magic. Learn something. Yeah? And then that's when my CEO is like, what are you doing? It's not poison, Chief. See? It's like, I want to die. Well, this isn't poison. No, it isn't. It's just my cold food. So what's Johnny doing here? JK, you're probably Heveron trying to get more mod. I'm going to keep you at whatever. So maybe the seagulls will come too. Like once the sparrows vouch for you, it's like, yeah, it's delicious. Why don't you want some? You see all them birds? It's like, we don't trust this guy. Those are all Precinct 46 birds. Like, the chief ain't dying. He's having a good time. Why should he have all the fun? How you doing, Chief? Those are the real commanding officers. Executive officers. They always form around the chief. And then the patrolmen come. Looks like we got some money. Care package from Washington. Good job. I saw all these First Amendment auditors. It's like, no recording. That's an illegal sign. Take that down right now. We're lobbyists. We're in the lobby. When you took down all your QR codes, that means you're compliant. I'll get you some federal funding for real. So far, all I got is the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. But that's a start. With all this climate change bullshit. All you need really in Risk is like one precinct. If the makers of Risk got a map of Manhattan or New York City, the 5 boroughs, you start off in the worst, Staten Island. Try to take over the world of New York City. And all the best Risk players, it's like, I beat you all starting with fucking Madagascar. Staten Island ain't so hard, Just give me cannons and shit. Same thing with marriage. Like, I'm trying to help Herb, He says, I don't care about my woman. She's the one that got away, so of course, sour grapes. I'm going to war, I'm going to die. You're going to miss me when I'm gone, blah, blah, blah. How many Disney movies do that, you know? It's like the first 10 minutes. Prince Charming died? Yep, that's the movie. That's called propaganda film. But they had to stretch it out to 2-3 hours. Propaganda films shouldn't take longer than 10 minutes. We are superior, that's the enemy. These are all the ways we can kill the enemy in 10 seconds. 10 minutes. Done. Okay? That blackbird is a Fed, the big one. There's always one special agent in charge. What's all this then? Something new from Washington? And you don't kick it up? Gimme. I was surprised, I was very surprised. Let me tell you the depths of my fucking surprise. Like, this is a huge surprise for me. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah? Like, this is just like me hiding out. Hello, you are in my spot. They let me have it. I was so surprised. Yeah? I just put it in the side somewhere. So anyway, welcome back to an all-new episode of Cops of All New York. I'm not a cop. Every day I have to convince myself, man, even though my uncle was studying to be police, I am not him. He got shot. So as you can see, I also live I practice what I preach. I don't put QR codes because something is wrong with those things. The World Economic Forum. This represents the fact that you are all slaves. And you can embellish it, but this little black thing means you're owned. I tried to do QR codes, it doesn't work for me. I like to walk and talk, just like Jesus. If I can walk around your neighborhood and I don't get shot, you must like me. If I don't, I walk around with my knees, and not only do I do this in Times Square, I do this where at home. Think globally, act locally. And the thing with homes is I get displaced, deported, and then wherever my old new home is, I set up my statues. Some call it idolatry, but it's all I got. If I had a kitchen knife, I'd embed, use a marker. This is idolatry. I'm going to show you idolatry in your stomach. Anyway, I hope Johnny is appreciative of Bitcoin. He was jealous of Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal makes $100,000 a month by my calculations. Buy one Bitcoin and you have that. Buy 1,000 or inherit, you're up ahead of the game. Took me a long time to figure out how to drive Bitcoin from 10,000 to 100,000 just to match Steven Seagal's monthly. Now you're all rich. That means you can all attack each other for me. A lot of people, once I hit the lottery, I'm going to retire and then take vengeance on all my enemies. Let that day be today. By my thing for the revelations, this whole block should be on fire. I've seen the gutted out remains of a car. They probably towed it from Gaza and shit. Some of you thought, dead chat, Golem. Choose your form. I see you, but I want you to choose something that I haven't chosen. Something where you can practice your undercover cop skills. It's just like Cops and Robbers with DuckTales. Life is like a mystery here in... I'm going to play something that will focus all three of you in my chat. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but if you put on headphones or earbuds, you'll hear it just fine. It's just your brain will notice, hey, there's a new sound, an all new sound. I'll ignore it. Okay? Most times, if not all, you guys are in earbuds. I don't want to bother my neighbor. And here are the ground troops. Hi, ground troops. Maybe I can get them to eat out of my hand. Here, buddy. sometimes you can get them to eat out of your hand. You know, even like local police trained pigeons. Like I'm the usual guy must have died or something. The executive officer of pigeon feeding. So you know, it takes time for them to trust me, but I've learned how to fast track certain things. One of them gave it back. I know those things love flying. You know, the feds love like flyboys. Oh, here come all the feds. Picture in front right here. Hey, boys. You know, I've been to the like you know the Wikipedia ADL. You know, they sanitize all the things, even his manifesto. It's like you know, all we want is a country within country for now. Once you get that, it's like thanks, daddy. I just wanted to see if you get me a motorcycle. Show me all the cool tricks. You know, I saw there's a news item. People are calling Trump daddy. It's like you know, it's odd. Morning, sir. I'm getting a head start on being like an old man in the park, you know, so that they recognize me. You're a little young for the job. Well, is it job? I'd rather be old man feeding pigeons in a park than just some asshole headed to free all Gaza. It's a tough job. And it said, you know, executive officer parking, not executive officer working. I guess I could just, you know, do something. Hold on. Let me just move this. You know, if you're really like me, I can't really stay parking for long. So I'm just going to do something. I always do this shit. You know? Like first, I'm going to just put my favorite color. I know that boys in blue, but I'm an emerald green guy. You know? And I'm just going to... Wait a minute, why can't I fucking draw? Ah, there it is. That's because that's the chat. Alright. So I'm just going to put it here, and I'm going to see if I can draw. Yeah, there it is. I'm just gonna draw like you know this. I'm gonna see. What the hell? I don't want that. I want green. Yeah, okay. So now it's executive officer birding. It's not linked, you know, the layers. So I'm gonna have to navigate, you know. There's a lot of mistakes when you're an executive officer birding. It's better than burning in hell, you know. I'll be birding in hell, I guess. It's almost as good. Oh, mini Polaroid camera. All right. I wish I lived there to take some city pics. Well, you do have a screenshotter, right? Jeez. You know, even absurd. It's just like the Zapruder film. I sure wish I had footage of JFK getting shot. And then, like, Trump is like, here's all the footage. It was declassified. You can see some of it is obscured, but, you know, focus on the part you like. You know, it's 10 o'clock. You know where all your children are? Don't answer that, Grady. Who knows where your children are? The sperm can swim, you know? Write this in my chat, Golem. It's like, you know, I've been all over the world. I could be your daddy. You know, the day you can say that to anybody at all, that's even more annoying. Like, I thought of that one before. That's guaranteed by Florida people. People who cut down ancient trees. Yeah. The rain. Who's the cutest doggy of all time? That's the one. Oh, good. A peregrine is here. Peregrines are hard to tame. There's something in their head coloration, you know? Look at all that food. Now here's a Patriot Front. Those are the birds, like, you know, those are the jets. You see how they're very targeted? Tommy should be here. You know, people say, go yell at the birds, and I do. It's like, how come you're getting paid to yell at the birds? Some fuckface gave me a direct command. Or it's like the Filipino is getting ignored. Wow, you know? Imagine I was called the reptilian. The reptilian's getting annoyed. You look at the word Filipino, reptilian, it shares the letter F. Yeah. Tell me there aren't over 2 reptilians in the Philippines. People. You look just like you, pare. Why are you eating all these Filipino children? I'm a reptilian too. Pare. Ukinin ng bakla. Just like that. You know, if I was actually reptilian and I just studied my balls off learning my birth language, my birth planet's communications. But once in a while I eat things. It's like, what are you doing? I'm nothing. It's like, you know, catching you, like, you know, what are you doing, Dad? Thinking of your mom? Now get out of my room. Sorry if I don't come at, you know, I have to come at you. You were, like, Hebron sounded you out. This guy has pictures of his kids. He's a pedophile. And it's like, you had to prove that you're not. Obviously you're not, because you get censored by YouTube too. You show, like, a pedophile with guns? That's overpowered. He's the first. He always says you're a pedo. You know, it's like the park slope or like whatever, Bushwick Park pedo. And I was like, you know, you're gonna be the first time I ever reported someone for hate speech and insinuation and defamation. And just like all Jewish people, it's like, I'm just kidding. Come on, take a joke. Just like, you know, Adam Friedland, like, you know, hey Adam, you're a pedo. I am not. Stop it. He knows how to deflect. That's the hard thing about fucking, like, you know, snitch Jews. They know the game, so all you have to ask them is, if you're so good at all games, what are you doing on planet Earth? This is a prison for you too. You made it a very luxurious prison. It's still a prison. Open air prison like in Gaza. Did I call you a Nazi? That was to advertise me, Johnny. Okay? Visit us. Okay? I stood for you in the fucking gap. I don't like how your performance is only less than 500 people. I want full-fledged bust all the way up to 1K. You call yourself new money, old money coming after you. You don't like being compared? Trump got elected because he did an event in fucking what do you call that place? Madison Square Garden, where Nazis collaborated in the 40s. We're the good guys. Support us. Give us all your money. Now he's president. You want to go against President Trump? Have a great time, Johnny. I disavow you and all your nouveau. You know? You think I guilted you into this? No, believe that. Me, I'm a well-meaning individual. I go where it's dangerous for me. Go. You have better ideas, right? Have a great time. Don't come crying to me. Anytime you feel like, oh, I wish they had a breakthrough. I'm feeling so healthy. Wonder why? That's because Trump pumped you with super soldier serum. You're gonna recover like Ghost Rider, and then he's gonna send you to die somewhere where you can't see your bus nouveau anymore. Have a great fucking time. You know? I don't even know why you guys are in this chat. I talk with Golem because he relaxes me. I can bullshit around like, what did Anthony the Witness do today? You know, if he said chosen one, the Nazis have sent me $5. Me and Crady would laugh about that shit. It's like only $5. What a bunch of cheap ass Nazis. Swear to God. You know, their memorabilia sells for like thousands on eBay. They only throw Anthony the Witness $5. What a piece of shit. I called myself a Nazi. It's up to you whether you stand by me or not. Go watch that movie. You know? You want to talk like, should I talk like this and that and appease all the fans? Get their approval. You don't need mine. I help people my way, you know? I went to fucking Precinct 46 wondering if they're going to tackle me on site. Open warrants. He is here. Get him. Let's get the bounty. Anything happen to me? No. Apparently, they think I'm an executive officer. I'm not going to disabuse them of that notion. But they know I'm not cop of the month. You want to be cop of the month? Feel free. Let's see how you do. You know, I'll tell you something, Johnny. A ship is safe in the harbor. But that's not what ships are for. You know, you want to be like the Intrepid, be a museum, sell tickets, great. When war comes, they're gonna mobilize that shit. You know? All these accusations, you're becoming more like Hevron and less like you. That's why his variant of the COVID is winning. Me, I know how to handle it. Maybe I'll hold some blackmail. And it's like, you know, maybe I'll be a little bit nicer to you. That's the most I can expect out of Hevron. It's time to Anthony the Witness. You know, he's a Nazi, right? He's the National Socialist, and we all know it. Right, Golem? Wink, wink. Anthony the Witness would be like, chosen one. This is a sausage party. Where are all the hot chicks? I'm leaving. With his, like, lazy eye. Want to accuse somebody? Go watch one Anthony the Witness stream. See if your life isn't changed forever. You wouldn't even dare post a single snippet in Nouveau of Anthony the Witness just walking. You know? You have the butterfly lady. Ooh, she's appealing. Gonna bring in more money. And it does. But then Trump's gonna be like, Nouveau is profitable? Nationalize that motherfucker. He don't want to be a Nazi? I'm gonna make him. Mark my words. You know, just me being useless all day, right? I know. He likes Trump. He's a liberal. Pumptown is a liberal hangout. You know, we buy guns too. We're going to destroy America and make it communism. Okay. What do you call the executive arm of this communist thing? I don't speak Russian. Sorry. What does that mean in English? Can you speak English for me, Russian? Are we speaking Russian right now? Morning, guys. See? When the real... I shut up. I'm here to listen and learn how this part works, how this world works. Maybe they're real Nazis. Who knows? I go into a Nazi rally. Hi, I'm brown. Normally you'd be hanging me and lynching me, right? Why are you not doing that? There's a prophecy about you. A brown man from the third world knows all our things. He's like Dune, Paul Atreides. He's like born and bred to it. You even know how to sit like a fucking Nazi. What? Are you all high? Probably those are the guys that signed. He's not alone. They're loud. Am I loud with you guys? Maybe Anthony's like, you know what? They did send me $5. I always accidentally. Why would you send Anthony the witness $5 unless you want to insult him? You know, if he came up, chosen one. Hello, I'm right here. I might make an Anthony the witness puppet. You know, just like his eyes all over the place. That's the good thing about hand puppets. You have two hands. You put a sock on it. What's the sock? A tribute to Anthony the Witness, chosen one. Look what I can do. You think I'd insult him by putting him in a sock? I'd make him my lighter right away. Hello all, I'm Anthony the Witness. And I want to break his character. It's like, this motherfucker, and he starts talking all black. Because he's British, Commonwealth. You ain't never heard him talk grimy. The closest is you watch Key and Peele, and then there's a director, and he's like, you know, there's the real American gangster hood grimy guy, and the British guy, and the director prefers the British guy. Even when he got socked in the face. Yeah, that hurt. Now you try a British guy. Ow! Do that, you know? Just like Idris Elba. There's American Gangster, which is like, oh, yes. And then Denzel Washington just shoots him in the head. This is what we do in America all day, every day. You know? It's like, I saw this thing. It's a real documentary. Like, once they know, the feds know you're a killer, they say, oh, hey, killer, kill this guy, and then that guy, and then this girl, and this baby. And then it's like, you know, you have 300 kills under your belt, let's make it 350, all right? They're not going to stop you. They just encourage you. And they're just saying, like, how many people can this guy kill before God stops him? 300 million later, when is he going to stop me? God's on my side, you know? You hear that? So it's like, go, go, go. You know, there's a reason the word go is 2/3 of God. The D is like, go dipshit, go dumbass, go Democrat. That's God just telling me, go to work. I'm at work. Jesus said, I'm teaching at the temple. Oh, I have carpentry to do? Okay, I'll do that too. Yeah? Sometimes people who live here are used to the sirens. We got a call. Fire department's here. Sometimes they like to do that. Why are you so loud? There's a fire, you fuckface. The fire department I've been to, they don't have an entire street where they can parade. Cop of the month, sergeant parking, executive officer parking, commanding officer parking. I saw that, I was like, and then there's a new building for, like, you know, police, law enforcement housing and their families. It's very nice. It has a garage. I'm gonna just read this super chat from fucking Johnny, Raptor Johnny. You know, you mean like the thing you did when you called me a Nazi? All them years ago, I went to a fucking Nazi stronghold conspiracy theory forum called Godlike Productions. At that point, I was like, I'm gonna be a Nazi? No, you're gonna call me Adolf Hitler reincarnated. Because that's how I roll. I ain't no generic fucking Nazi. I'll go to the top. I wrote a paper in a Montessori school taught by all Jews, and it's like, so we're gonna ask you which man, wink wink rabbi, changed all of history. And I did a paper on Adolf Hitler. It's like, he's not a rabbi. Wait until he comes back. My Jewish teacher, you can tell he taught me basically how to play the trumpet. With this, all you need is 3 words. He, ah, ooh. You can play play the trumpet with those three sounds. E, ah, ooh. E, ah, ooh. You get these dimples. See that? I didn't have dimples until I practiced that shit for 2 fucking years. E, ah, ooh. Now I have dimples. Yeah? And if you know the Catalan province or Comtown province or the Citizen province, you know, or Condemned province, you should know Catalan. And then I'll just make a province called Philippine, like fashion. I'm not a Filipino, I'm a fashiono. Call me a fucking fascist. It's like calling Trump, hey, you're a Trump supporter. I am fucking Trump. Idiots. Not only do I support myself, I fucking lead. I rule until I don't rule. No, nobody. You hear the guy next to me? That's the guy on command presence. It's like, where's all my money? Hooray. And then you're gonna hear all that shit. I'm Executive Officer Burdick. You know? Here's me just doing my normal. Everybody's all smiles because once you get your money, you're happy. Once you don't get your money, you're unhappy. Me, I got my birds. You know, this is a very tough corner. Best of the best. I'm surprised they let me in here. They don't eat birds here. I vouch. This is a good corner. This is where we make all our money. That's here. 181st Street, Grand Concourse. Next to the precinct. You know, stop on by. We'll see you on the streets. But, you know, if you don't know how to pay the tax, you know, maybe you don't walk. I walk just fine. I'm here to feed the birds. I might bring this. I'm gonna plant this right where, you see this? This is from the park, a gift from the park. They're either gonna burn all these moss or I'm gonna give them a home. Right where, next to Golda Meir. You know? I keep the park clean. And also G.I. Joe headquarters is here. Yo, Joe. They fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. You know, these guys don't even know they're Joes. I gotta remind all of them. Sometimes it's like the flamethrower guy. Sometimes it's the machine gun guy. Sometimes it's the shotgun guy. Sometimes it's the fist guy. Oh God, I love this place. You can just walk slow and they teach you how to do command presence. It's so, like, you walk slow and then it's like, you know, you see the big dogs and I'm a squirrel just walking around tiptoeing, you know, scampering here and there, going back to where I'm safe, or at least less dangerous. Even as a squirrel, you let the big lion walk in front of you. So I'm just following you, lion. I'm not making any fast moves. You know, you're the lion, I'm the squirrel around here, I'm the food. And then you get the lion, say, I'll eat you later. And then he eats a gazelle in front of you. Holy shit, thank God I'm not a gazelle. I'm just a little squirrel, not even a snack. That fucking gazelle, that giraffe, 500 pounds of meat. Damn. Me, I'm like 6 pounds. So lucky. In fact, I don't even have an umbrella. It's like, you know, now I have an umbrella. I don't want to be rained on. This is perfectly good. You know? It's like hand-me-downs. The worst part about having an older brother is then, like, everybody wants to be older brother when they see how much money he's making. I'm your older brother now. I don't even know what happens to my older brother. I'm sorry, sir. You know? If I get, like, if my wife leaves me, like, just like all the other cops, it's like, yeah, you have a home in the precinct. Go be a janitor or something. I wonder if I can close this. I guess I can. It's nice, this one. It's like a sword. And it's got that little thing that I can use. You always need a stick. So anyway, this is the first pilot episode of Cops of All New York. I'm just recording, observing. Free weed. That's another perk. Instead of like procuring weed, they just smoke it around me. Ah, you know it's good. I don't have possession. I just like walk by somebody who gets the greatest weed. It's like, let me get a whiff of that. Yep, that it is. No, I don't partake, but still, thank you for the free sample. That is enough to wake me up, but not enough to fuck me up. Maybe just a nanosecond or two. I heard those guys low. Maybe you're the kind of guy to challenge them. You know? They have plenty of cameras there. Everyone told me, like, you better file a restraining order. I think I just did. If he makes it, good for him. He might be commanding officer one day. No. I don't underestimate, like, somebody who could just pick up an Arab. Take a picture with me. I'm doing a live stream. You didn't believe he enslaved that guy. I did. I was like, that is an Arab man, Hebron. You just like, hey, you, come here. And then he took an American hostage. You ever take somebody hostage and then let him go? Just kidding. And you know what he wrote in a piece of paper, a sticker, with his black and white printer? It's just like, all hail Nate Mendez, King of Israel or something. When he showed me, that's like an agent, he said, you're really insane. I think maybe like 50,000 Delta Force couldn't stop you. I'm surprised the consulate can. I'm going to take a picture of this. This is going to be the thing of my thing. I can't believe, like, Johnny always, I knew this other guy in another chat, Chicken City. Despite knowing all the right things to say, he would invariably choose the wrong thing to say to make me angry. You know? First, it's like you guilted me into it, and now, like that. When I make a move, either question me or like tackle me, stop me. I'm doing this for the good of all mankind. Try to find the good thing in what I did. That tells me you're developing discernment. You know, when I advertised your channel, my channel to all the world, it's open to the public. You know, it's like Disneyland was my very own hangout. I don't think that's what Disneyland is for. You're gonna deal with tourists, you're gonna deal with walk-ons, and then all the best rides, but they're gonna be in your way. You're gonna turn away Nazi money. Oh no. There's some people who keep going. Like, let that sink in. Even the black people are advertising it. This was only 60 years ago. So you still haven't forgotten. Some people can't see past all their pain. Me too. Every day I expect Johnny to like tie me up or ban me or hide me for 60 years. I've shown you how to do it. You can do all the things I do. You just don't want to do it. Ask Mavis, ask LoJack. In that time, they found their own support system. I'll tell you, bad grass doesn't die. It just perpetuates. Looks like a good time to